Here's my shed. What a state it's in. Door in over there, door into my shed and office there. That's going to be like an opening one. I'm going to have a shower tray, gorgeous toilet here, a little corner sink somewhere over there maybe. But the first thing I've got to do is get all of this lot cleared out. So we're going to be putting a lovely stud wall in, and one side is going to stay as office and the other side is going to stay as shed. Then going to shove a door in so we can get to it from the patio when we're using the pool. We're going to put a nice little corner basin in there as well, a beautiful back to the wall bidet toilet, and then a 1400 by 800 wide shower, probably a panhead shower but I'm not sure yet, and a standard walk around shower screen. Then after that we're going to shove a sliding door in that will slide one way or the other to save the space, a small little bench for people to get changed on when they've been in and out of the pool or when they get out of the shower, and also an electric heated towel rail as well. Blooming heck guys, isn't this going to be a project and a half? But first things first, I've got to strip it all back, get the door in and get this wall built. So this bit is cut off as you can see, but I was thinking, hold on, do I want to cut through into the office now when I haven't got the wall up here? All the dust will go through there and all the cold will come out here because it's not heated yet or anything like that. What are you doing? So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get the door that I've bought in there, so we've got a way to go in and out, and I can get quite a lot of the work and all the dusty stuff done before we do the cut through on that, which will be in a later video. So let's go and meet the door. Hell yeah, there's the door right next to my lovely golf clubs, oh baby. Now I know the measurement of this door because I was the one who sent them the measurements, and I've also got to account for the height of the sill, that's 35mm. Measuring is so much hassle, 700. That's exactly what I said. Let's get marking up. There's also a problem outside that I'm going to have to look at in a few minutes time for us to get over, so don't go anywhere. Right, so first things first, I need to build out about 10 centimetres just off here. Let's get that marked up. I don't want to be exactly 700 because it would be too tight. We've got a bit of extra wood. Don't ever throw it away because that can work for our trimmers later. Let's lay that down nice and flat. I can't believe that sometime in this video you're going to see a door here, because at the moment we aren't anywhere near to that actually happening. First things first, get my laser on. I just want our vertical booble like that just by pressing the button on top. Why I like to use these is firstly nice and easy to kind of adjust so you can get them in the right place, but they're miles away from where you're working, so you don't keep dinking into them, and they're way more accurate than doing it with a bubble and a pencil. It's just easier. I don't know, I just find this way a lot easier. I'll just swing that around nicely just there. Beautiful. So the door that we're installing is a pretty narrow 700mm wide. I know, very tight. That means the opening I'm going to cut is going to be about 5 to 10mm larger than the door size all the way around. And in that 700mm, I'm including the frame size as well. Once we've done that, we'll use plastic packers to make sure that it's exactly square and all good. Then we'll be able to screw it in nice and tight and then fill up that gap with expanding foam. Obviously around the door, I'll be building a big fat thick frame for us to go into, so it will not move anywhere whatsoever. When it comes to actually cutting through the wall, if we look on the side here, we'll see that we've got featherboard that's thicker at the bottom and thinner at the top. Then we've got a nice thick 25mm batten, which creates an air gap with our paper. Then underneath that, we've got our OSB board. I wanted to be cautious here to make sure that I didn't just rip everything to pieces. So I did a first cut with my mini little skill saw, second cut with my bigger skill saw. Get in now! There we go. And finally went through with the final cut using my big fat reciprocating tiger saw, and it went absolutely fine. So here's the complicating bit here. I built and welded up all this structure myself about 7 or 8 years ago now, and I actually covered it on my other channel. But this strut is obviously right in the way of where I want that door to be. So what I'm going to do is take it off, cut it back, and just hope that all the work that I've done is so good it ain't going to go anywhere. And if it does, I'll have to just make another welded strut up here to tie it into that. And I'm just going to cut that bit off fairly roughly. And don't worry, I will remember to hammerite it, okay? Don't get all funny about me not hammeriting it. Nice. This should come out. Oh! Suddenly everything's changed. I didn't expect that to be so easy. Right, okay. Yeah, okay. Don't know what to say. So I've got this little gap here that usually we sort of bridge that with battens. So I've taken the old slats off this bit down here and I've got the old batten under there. So like a frugal old man, I can now save a tiny bit of money on wood. It's not money, it's time. Don't want to be driving to the suppliers just to get a little bit like that, do I? Get that gate swung open. That's it. Right, so I tested the door. Would you believe it? It fits. So I just want to get a piece of wood to go from here, from the bottom there, to the top up there. Press the button, look up the top there. That dot is where I'm measuring to. Boom, pressed it. And there we go, 2.020. Wicked. Right, let's get our seal cut. Need to get my chop saw in soon. Right, pinged a set square on there. Let's get this skilled off. So I can use the spirit level on this. So we're low at this end, high at this end. Quality. Right, so let's get that packed out. In and done. Now, one thing you've got to do with this is do your diagonal measurements. Now, look at this. Usually you'd have to faff about with the tape measure in the corner there and try and get it up into the corner over there. Well, look at this. So we're now getting ready. Get my dot as in the corner as I can get it. Press fire. 1904. Same on the other side. Get that into that corner as best I can. That's the door pretty much done. Let's have a look at progress. But look, so she closes, she locks, and she opens. So yeah, really happy with how that's gone. Right, so I'm going to be doing plenty of timber framework today, just to get that all done and dusted. It's only right to actually get out something that's going to cut and keep everything absolutely gorgeous. Look at it, it's absolutely minging, bro. I always wonder as well whether it's a good idea to, I mean, sometimes you just gotta let tools be outside to be wet, but I do worry about you, my darling. Let's start getting this wall set out. Get a nice level across the whole room. Yes. So I've measured out the distance out the wall there. Now what I've had to account for is this. Because the walls don't exist yet and we haven't finished that wall off over there, I need to account for hardy backer that's gonna go against there, hardy backer here, and also a sheet of plasterboard as well, before we get to our stud work, which is what we're measuring out now. So that comes to about 1435. So I've got my laser level, I've got my line up there that I pinged over there at the moment. Now what I want to do is just marry that laser level up. I can just get that, lay that on my line there, 1440. So I just need to come back just a tiny bit. So I'll come back this way about 5 mil. Try it now, bring this back to here. Ha, 1435, absolutely spot on, and you can have a look at it for yourself so you know exactly what I'm on about. So there you go, 1435, and if I just move my leg out the way, you can see right there on that, and our plumb line goes all the way up there. And I've just got my set square out as well, because I like to try and make these areas as square as I can, especially where there's going to be a shower tray, because that can come to bite you in the botty later on. Now I know where that is, just put one there, and then if I look that way, right in the bum there, and I also know exactly where my upright is. Just mark that in there, marked in there, pop that on there, press the button, put my dot over there. There, I've got my first measurement, and look, all the other measurements are saved on there as well. Standard procedure for going into the floor: drill a hole through our wood into our concrete, then we can chemical fix some bolts in and screw them down nice and tight. This won't go anywhere. Easy work, son, easy! Once I've moved the hole out, get that in there, pull it out, and then cut that off. Let me just get these other ones done. Right, take these out now, lay them just in front of where each hole that they correspond to, and then probably kick them in a minute and lose them, as is the way. We're going to twiddle this just up, just spin it up out there like that. Then I'm going to sell loads of my cricket gear on eBay. And once that's done, let's nip that up, and that is Really tight and in. As you can see, I've already got a side beam up and also a header. And look how easy it is to do when you've got a nice laser. So the next thing I want to show you is I've marked my 400 centers, but if you look here, we've got a diagonal kind of header that's going up there. How do we make it easy to measure the length of wood that we need for that diagonal? If you use a tape measure, you're always kind of just semi-guessing. Let me show you how to do it. Number one, you get this. I'm trying to sort of film it so it doesn't go into my lens because these can ruin cameras, these things. But you get that, so it's pretty much exactly lined up with that there, okay? And you grab a little beast like that, put that exactly on that halfway mark there, press the button, and at the top just tilt it over so it's touching the other line there, press the button again, and there you go. You've got the exact distance you need if you know the degree cut you need to do there, which up there is 15 degrees. So I've already got this little beast set to 15 degrees already. 2110. Already set the degree mark, so this will be the highest point here. And once you get it back in, just a little tap there, slightly out of line there, but... And if we check here, you should find we've got 400 centers. Perfect. I don't know, it's nice when a method comes together and makes things nice and easy. I know that I'm going to have a shower valve just here. I have my standard studding for a shower valve. Most people would put a noggin that goes in flat like this. For the shower valve place, I always put one that's like that, because then I've got a place where I can put my two 15mm pipes through, and I've also got somewhere to screw on those little bar mixer valve shrouds later on in the job. Remember, pre-planning, it's so bloody important, yeah. You don't want to forget it, honestly, because things like this you get right now, your life's a lot easier later on. So another beautiful day here. That was a long old bit of work actually, getting all this lot in, but it's gone in nicely. And look, we've now got an entrance that we can use, and we're just getting this lot of timber done here. Got to go to the suppliers in a minute and get a bit more, which means I think I'm going to take my little apprentice Teddy with me as well. So nice to be able to do stuff with my boy in that sort of way now. It's just a privilege to be able to have him in the van with me, go to the suppliers and do loads of silly stuff like that. It's brilliant. So I've done all my measuring, I've got all my notes on here, so I should be able to go and get pretty much, hopefully, the cuts I need. So at the suppliers, a 1.92, 2.37, 2.29 and a 2.20. Let's have a look at that again, Bilbo Baggins. Right, so we can get a 4.2 on the van, but 4.8 I think is pushing our luck a little bit.
Handy little device.
That is a handy little device. I do like your grotto, Bill. Look at this. The height of living. Come back this way a little bit. Yeah. Oh, look at my grapes. Right, don't do that. No one wants to do that. Oh, look, we're getting progress in here at the moment. It's going really, really well. All the studding's in. I've left a nice big gap there for the toilet frame, and I didn't film me doing all the work on the roof. As you can see above me, Celotex is in, so you have to do this in a special way. There's things you've got to consider when you're insulating timber frame. You have to leave an air gap between your insulation and the outer part of the skin of the building. That stops us having a condensation issue, which does sometimes happen. So I've done that up there. But what I'm doing at the moment, I'm just putting these strips of wood around here because I've got a pretty cool idea that I want to do for the lighting. So I'm doing an equal border around the outside, and I'm doing it before I put on our plasterboard, because at this end and at the other end of the building there isn't a lot of height, and if a tall person, it's no problem for me guys, don't worry about it, but if a tall person wants to use a shower and my idea is to drop this central part of this down, then they're going to be banging their head when they're in the shower, or the shower head is going to be too low for them. So I am just trying to buy that extra 12.5mm that you get with a bit of plasterboard, all right? And the reason I'm doing this, you might ask, is because I want to have a recessed border LED light strip around the ceiling so it gives a nice diffused effect but also looks nice and cool. You'll have to wait until videos later in this series to see how it turns out. I hope it's all right. So there you go, there's our beautiful frame in. Now, you might be wondering, when are we actually going to get down to doing any bloody plumbing? As you know, we've got a shower here, we've got a toilet here, and we've got a basin going in over there. I plan to supply the hot water for this with a 15-litre under-sink water heater. Not the normal way of doing it, but this is such a rarely used shower, and it's not going to be like really long showers or anything like that. And 15 litres, boiling hot, mixed up with the cold as well, it's probably going to be fine for a good 5 or 10 minute shower anyway. We're going to be feeding everything off one 15mm supply as well, so we're not going to have a vast amount of flow going through, but that will be fine for this. And also I plan to put a pressure regulating valve on this as well, because we've got a water heater on here that might not be able to deal with the mains pressures that we have here in the evening, that can go up to like 7 bar, 2 or 3 in the morning when no one's using the water. So we've got to be careful about that too. So let's firstly get started with notching out and getting everything set out. That's about right. So there you go, sweet as a nut, nice and easy. So now we've just got to run our pipes in. Now, obviously, one thing you're going to say to me, it's 15 mil. It's 15 mil what's going through there, and obviously you can sort of bend it round a little bit. Let's face it, I am going to have to do a couple of couplings in the wall, but that's no big deal. I'm just happy that I've got it done like this now. I prefer to get it done properly, rather than if I did it in Hep2O or JG Speedfit or something like that, you guys would murder me in the comments. So you know what, I thought, you know, we'll do it in copper, let's get it done right. Oh, look, about 180 quid's worth of 15 mil. No, it's not that bad. I know a lot of you are big fans of the channel, and a lot of you are going to know that we've had a close family bereavement in my family, and it is very strange trying to sort of come back and be happy and everything else. God, is this going to work? There we go, there's one in. But we are slowly, we're getting there, and that's all you can do, isn't it, sometimes? Yeah, it's just been a mad couple of months really, but it's nice to be back making videos now, and well, not moving on, I suppose you mean, but well, just sort of enjoying life for what it is. I don't know what I'd do without my little baby boy Ted. He's kept everyone going because he's just, you know, kind of insulated from it, he is, because he's a happy little chappy. Everybody loves a bit of press fit, don't they? Right, so obviously top one here is hot, so that's going to punch through and go round to the left-hand side of the shower valve, and then come out here. I'm going to have the water heater down there on the wall, which is also below the consumer unit. And then obviously our cold feed coming across here, dropping down to where our toilet feed's going to be, but also it's going to punch through and run through to the right-hand side, the cold feed side of the shower, and also it's going to run down to here as well, which means that we will be slightly unbalanced when it comes to the feeds, but I'm sure we'll be fine. Right, so next little bit we've got to do is get the shower valve first fixed, the pipe sticking out in the right place. Now you have to use your imagination a little bit for this, because obviously this finished wall here, well, it ain't finished yet. So there you go, center's there. Obviously that's our horizontal line that I've just pinged from that over there, and then that's our 150 centers there. So now we can pop a hole through there, a hole through there, but I'll do them slightly smaller than the ones I've done here. That'll have 18. It's a nice brand new set, this, isn't it? Locked and loaded.
So there you go, that's the first fix done, all insulated and installed. I'm very proud to tell you that I'm sponsored by Bosch, and I can offer you 15% off all of their power tools if you click on the link below and use the voucher code PLUMBERPARTS1, all lowercase. Truly, the laser measurer is an absolute standout beast and really helped me on this job. In the next video, available to members of the channel already, we will be getting the walls installed, the ceiling and the lighting put up, and the shower tray installed. Plus, if I've got time, I'll get the walls done. I still haven't decided whether to tile them or use shower board. Comment below what you think. We'll also get the shower valve second fixed as well. Anyway, see you in the next video, guys. Remember to like and subscribe, and remember to hold tight.